I'm coming in loud and clear. Might hear me on the radio.
Well, hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. I'm back from the Shelby Hamfest here in 2024. Always a good time to get down to Shelby. Got a chance to hang out with 741 Radios and Repairs. That guy came all the way down from Connecticut, and I've known him for quite a few years. It was great to actually get a chance to hang out in person. I was hoping to see Dallas Rife and Mower Junkie down there, but I didn't catch up with either one of them. I guess they couldn't make it this year. But I was able to pick up some stuff. You'll notice the table is not quite as crowded as it usually is. Finances are a bit tight, so I focused on the stuff that I was really interested in. And right out of the gate, I came across this. I've made some videos on this type of radio before. This is a Radio Shack DX394. I've never seen one in its original box like this with the manual and everything, so it was a real treat to come across this, like right next to the gate. And it's in beautiful condition, so I picked that up. Some people say that that radio isn't as awesome as I make it out to be, but I really enjoy the modern / vintage feel of it. It brings a lot of modern features into the shortwave listening, you know, with sideband, CW and all that, but the fact that it have memory and digital modes or digital tuning as opposed to like the DX300, which I also love. But it just, I don't know, it just fits every bill for me. This next radio I picked up was really the king of CB radio base stations back in its day. You had the unit in Washington, and you had the Cobra. And this is the 142 GTL or GLT. Gosh, it's been so long I can't even remember what it is. The 142 GTL. And this one's in really nice shape, honestly. It looks good. It's clean. The case isn't too mangled up or anything like that. It doesn't appear that it was modified, which is what I was kind of looking for. It's just a plain old regular model. Picked that up, and along with it from the same character there, the same guy, I got two sideband mobiles. This is a JCPenney 6247 40 channel with sideband. I can't remember if I've ever owned one of these or reviewed it. When I picked it up, I kept thinking about the Sears. Then I've had two Sears models, but I couldn't remember if I had a JCPenney like this. This one has been modified. It's got a switch in the back, so apparently it has uppers and lowers as well. And then I'd never heard of this brand and never seen this radio. A Colt 485 Black Shadow SSB, another 40 channel radio. This one does not appear to have been modified, although I won't know until I finally get to plug it in. But a kind of a cool radio. That was all I bought. It wasn't a huge buying spree. Some years I buy a bunch of lower end, $5 CB radios to give out, but this year, like I said, funds were kind of tight, so I wasn't able to do that. I did have my eyes on a Cobra 2000, which I have never owned, and it's probably the last of the great radios that I've never owned over the years. And I was getting ready to leave, actually. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just finished having lunch with 741, and I said, well, I'm going to head on out of here. I was kind of hurting a little bit. I've got some medical issues, as I'm sure you all do, and they were starting to catch up with me for the day. So I was getting ready to go, and I came across this radio here, and I had made a lot of rounds. I think at this year's Shelby, I talked to more people who knew the channel, who knew me, and had more great conversations than any other event I've attended that I can recall ever. So I don't know if that is a victim of success. I won't say victim, I should say a sign of success, or really just happenstance. But it was so cool to have all of y'all come up and say hi to me and talk to me. People that I see at other shows, people that I see at other Hamfests, and people who comment on the channel and just are a part of the Farpoint Farms family. They were there, and that was really awesome for me. And so I want to get to this radio, and I want to talk about how I acquired it. And it goes back to what I talk about when it comes to Hamfests in general, is that it's up to us. We have to kind of keep it going, and we have to bring more people into it, because Shelby was a little lighter this year than last year, and that was kind of sad to see, because it's usually a pretty packed place. But this is a guy that I have seen so many times, and for reasons that I cannot share with y'all right now. I forgot his name currently, but I'll remember it as soon as I'm done filming this. But I have seen him at Raleigh Hamfest many times, at Shelby Hamfest many times, I think Waynesville once or twice as well. And we always talk and kid around, and he buys radios and sells radio. I buy radios and sell radios. But he was with another guy, and they both yanked me. As I was trying to walk out the door or out the gate, they kind of pulled me back in, and he said, I don't want to haul this stuff home. He had a beautiful, the other guy had a beautiful Lafayette 23 channel, and very good price on it, but I was out of cash. I had to have some gas money to get home. But that gentleman was kind enough to give this radio to me. This is a Radio Shack DX 150, and it even has the side speaker to it. It's a Radio Shack radio that I have not owned. I've owned a 160, but if you remember when I made the video of that, it unfortunately was damaged. It didn't work properly, so that wasn't something I kept. But it is a radio that I want because it kind of has the hi-fi radio look. It doesn't really look like a shortwave, but it does have sideband and CW and everything, and it's got all the bands, and it's just a beautiful looking radio. And he gave this radio to me. It's been recapped, and he did it because he said he wanted to see me make a video on it. And of course I will. I'll do a full review of it, and we'll do a band scan with a nice long wire antenna one night. But I guess I just want to say thanks, but also to point out that that's what Hamfests are about. Is that you have these conversations with people, and maybe somebody's looking for something. You're like, oh, I saw one of those down over there, and you're helping them out. Maybe you have something that you brought with you, and you don't have a table set up, and somebody's looking for that. In this case, this was just a friend. I consider him to be a friend and a fan of the channel who was interested in passing this along to somebody who would get some enjoyment out of it and who would make some content to share with the rest of the world. And I think that's really cool. So a really great Hamfest, probably the most, how do I put this? I'm having a hard time finding words tonight. I'm a little tired. I apologize. Probably the most friendly Hamfest I've ever been to. I can't count how many people came up to me. I met someone who lives right in the same town that I do. 2.5, 3 hours away from that town, so that was cool. And I met so many people who caught me. I didn't even get in the gate before somebody said, hey, I know you. Shook hands with so many folks, and everyone was so great. And that's what makes the radio community great, is that we're friends. We may never meet. I've been talking with Rob 741 for at least 6 years, and I did a show with him, an interview with him on his channel, and we've just discussed stuff. He's been on the Midnight Cafe with me a few times, and to finally meet somebody, and I think that's just really cool when we have a chance to go to these Hamfests and actually meet some of the voices we hear on the radio. So I guess that'll do it for tonight, my friends. I'm tired. I'm sorry that if I'm rambling or don't make any sense this evening, but it's the best I could come up with, and I wanted to get this out because it's cool. It's really good stuff. I look forward to, I'll make another video on the DX394. This radio deserves more than one look. They're available on eBay, and they usually go for a pretty good penny, but that's because they really are a decent radio. And I know that people will say, well, they're not anything compared to a Sony or an ICOM or a Kenwood or something like that. But this is a shortwave receiver that's for the public, not for radio enthusiasts like some of our ham friends are. But I really do enjoy it. This I can't wait to play with. The fact that it's been recapped, I'm sure it is a great sounding radio, and I look forward to scanning the bands, and I'll of course do videos on these as well, so you'll see these all in future videos. Till next time, my friends, take care.